Welcome, boys and girls, to my kitchen. I'm gonna wash my hands because anytime I do anything in the kitchen, I make sure I wash my hands. Although I'm not cooking, anything we'll be eating, but it's just a good idea. So I'm doing that, just a habit, I guess. But we're gonna do a little science with things that I found in my house. So you know I love fall or autumn, so of course I have a pumpkin. So we're gonna have a pumpkin and we're going to carve this pumpkin first. If you do this at home and you carve with your parents, make sure your parents do the carving with the knife because you have to be very, very careful not to get cut. This is a very, very tough pumpkin I have here. I'm gonna switch knives out just a minute, see if that helps at all. There we go. Oh yeah, that's much better. So I'm gonna cut open this pumpkin that I got at the pumpkin patch. Did any of you go to a pumpkin patch this fall? Maybe you went to the corn maze. I heard that a lot of you went out to the corn maze in Townsend, and there's a little pumpkin patch here in town. Or maybe you grew your own pumpkins this summer. If you grew your own pumpkins, or if you have pumpkins that you've already carved at your house, send some pictures to me. I would love to see them. So I'm almost done getting the top off. So we know that pumpkins grow on vines. We've talked a little bit about that at school. We were going to talk a little bit more about it this week, but we weren't able to go to school. But I'm going to send your mom some papers, and if you have a printer at home, you can print them off, and it talks all about the life cycle of a pumpkin. So this is the stem, and this is the skin on the outside. And inside is kind of like when we talked about the apples. This is the flesh of the apple, and inside are seeds. And this is the inside of the pumpkin. I'm going to cut this off, and I've got a little dish here. I'm gonna put my seeds in as I scoop them out. So you'll need a pumpkin, you'll need a knife, and you'll need a parent to help you. And then I'm gonna take a spoon and I'm gonna take the insides of the pumpkin out. Look here, there's the pumpkin seeds. You can do a lot of things with pumpkin seeds. You can dry them out and you can actually roast them in your oven and eat them. You can also do a little art with them. You can take them and put them in a Ziploc bag and put a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Your mom and dad will know what that is. And some food coloring. I have some food coloring here. This is food coloring. You might see your parents use this to dye frosting for cupcakes and cakes and things. And you put that, not very much rubbing alcohol, and just a little bit of the food coloring, whatever colors you want to make. And you just swish it around in a Ziploc bag and lay it out on some paper towels, and it will make your seeds turn colors. And then, you know, kind of like we did our leaf pictures where I traced your hands and your arm, you could do that, or you could just make your own tree trunk and branches and then glue these on like they're leaves on your tree. Or they're just kind of fun for decoration. And maybe if you have a little vase, you could color them different colors and put them in a vase. That's kind of fun too. So I took out all the insides of the pumpkin. Pumpkins can be used, you can bake pumpkin, you can make pumpkin pie out of the meat of the pumpkin here. You'd have to take off the skin, but you can do that with the pumpkin. Today we're gonna do science with our pumpkin. So I have my pumpkin all ready to go, and I'm gonna go ahead and carve out the eyes of my pumpkin. I'm just gonna do a shape. I think you know what shape this is. Do you remember our shape song? It has 3 sides. What shape has 3 sides? 1, 2, 3. Count my sides. 1, 2, 3. Tommy Triangle, that is me. So I'm making triangle eyes. there's the eyes. And then I'm gonna do the nose here. I'm gonna do a triangle nose too. This is a tough pumpkin. Really tough. So there's my nose. And I think I'm gonna make him mouthless. Just the eyes and the nose is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put the stem over there. So the next thing I'm gonna do, gotta wipe off my spoon because I have the insides of the pumpkin on it. And I want a dry spoon when I do this. So I'm gonna use what's called baking soda. Baking soda is probably in your pantry, and it is used to bake with. You might make cookies with it or cakes with it. And I'm just gonna put, I don't know, maybe 2 tablespoons. My pumpkin's little, depends on how big your pumpkin is, right? So if you have a really big pumpkin, you're gonna need more baking soda. And then I'm gonna use what's called vinegar. I wish you were here to smell it, but if you do it at home, smell it. Ooh, it's pretty strong. You can use vinegar for a lot of things. You can use it to make pickles. You can use it for cleaning windows. It's a good cleaner. So it's called vinegar. It happens to be apple cider vinegar. That's what I had in my house. So I am gonna take, let's see, I'm gonna grab let me grab out of my cabinet let's see, I need something clear so you can see it. Let's see, let's do, perfect, this little jar I happen to have in my cabinet. So you just find things that are in your home. And I'm gonna put the vinegar in. I wish I had the clear vinegar, but I didn't happen to have that. So I'm having to use this, and it's already colored. But let me show you with something different. I just want to see how you can mix. So I'm just going to use water for this, but we're going to pretend like it's vinegar. Vinegar, that's hard to say. So here is the water. Actually, we'll do a little experiment with this. So here's the water, and I need orange, but I don't have any orange in my box. I have blue, I have yellow, I have red, and I have green. No orange. What 2 colors do you think if I mix together would make orange? If you guessed red, come on out. Boy, that's not coming out for some reason. I wonder why. Let me do a little poke here. That is strange. I've never had that happen before. Here, I'll just get my scissors out of my drawer, and I'm just gonna cut the top off. I don't know what's going on with that, but there we go, right there. So I'm gonna put some red. That comes out fast. Can you see the red? There's red. And then I'm gonna add yellow. Let's see if the yellow comes out. Oh yeah, that's coming out just fine. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get a spoon. I was all prepared, but. And I'm gonna mix up the water. Now, I don't think you can see it as well in the jar, but look here. Can you see it? Let me show you on my paper towel. Oops, I just got some dye on I'm gonna put it on my paper towel. Can you see that it's orange? Yeah. So the red and the yellow mixed together made orange. All right, so now what would happen if it's called a chemical reaction. We're doing a science experiment with chemical reaction. That's when you put 2 things together and something happens. So I have orange water. Let's see what happens when I put it in the baking soda. Is anything happening? Nothing. That didn't create a chemical reaction. All right, well, I'm gonna take the vinegar, which is different than the water, because it is loaded with a lot of things. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna stir it up. So now I have some orange, and I think I'm gonna add a little bit more because I added water on that and it didn't do anything. So let's see what happens to this jack-o'-lantern here if I pour the vinegar in with the baking soda. Oh my goodness, can you see what's happening? It's exploding. We have an exploding jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. It's fizzing. So the two things together mixed, the vinegar and the baking soda together created a chemical reaction and made it explode like a volcano. So there's my first science experiment. I'm going to clean this up and then I'll get another one ready for you. So what you would need at home is a pumpkin. You need a plate because it's messy. Vinegar, baking soda, and food coloring. Happy science!